It's a terrific Tuesday, and it's also a very thoughtful Tuesday. I'm going to put two names on the screen, and one name is the name of someone that you have been told all your life betrayed Jesus. The other name is a person who actually did it. Okay? So, why am I doing this? Because I've just read in a book, The Gospel of Judas. It's very enlightening. I like to read you something, by the way. And, as always, it's up to you to believe it or not. So, this is about a man called John the Baptist. He was a forerunner of Jesus, Emmanuel. And I'll read you this. So it'll be when the human race begins to comprehend and separate the wheat from the chaff. The time will be when your false teachings will be laughed at and the human race finds the truth. So it'll happen when the human race builds singing lights and fire wagons, which with they can move into outer space as it is done by God and his followers, the celestial sons, namely those who taught us the wisdom and knowledge of creation, and who urge us to obey the law of nature and live according to it. Oh, you renegades, you brood of vipers, get away from this place, because you are impure and cursed in your false teachings. And then he went on to say, later on, 3:30, when Emmanuel had been baptized, he soon came out of the water of the Jordan, and behold, a metallic light dropped from the sky and descended steeply over the Jordan. And then he goes on, behold, after these words, Emmanuel, Jesus, entered into the metallic light which climbed into the sky, surrounded by fire and smoke, and passed over the lifeless sea, as the singing of the metallic light soon faded away. After that, Emmanuel was no longer seen for 40 days and 40 nights. It's called the Talmud of Emmanuel. Interesting book. Of course, like all books, you either believe it or not. Of course, the Talmud of Emmanuel is not in the Bible. And the more you read it, the more you understand why it is not in the Bible. I have a theory. I think it's because of two reasons. Number one, they couldn't understand what they're reading. Metallic disc ascending into the skies. They had no concept of that. And the second is because it didn't fit into the narrative of a religion called Christianity that was created by Constantine. So they left it out. And that's not the only gospel that was left out. The Gospel of Mary was left out, the Gospel of Thomas, Gospel of James, the secret Gospel of John. A lot of the Gospels were left out because they couldn't understand what they're reading. But anyway, that's not my purpose for today, because you will believe whatever you want to believe. That's just the nature of man, don't you think? What I wanted to say is that this thing called happiness, that's where it resides, in your mind. Happiness resides in your mind. And there are two bits of information I want to pass on to you. Number one, once you understand your own power, you'll begin to understand that you create your own happiness. You are the divine that you seek, believe it or not. And the other thing that I wanted to pass on to you is that A lot of times your unhappiness is caused by someone else or something else. In Microdacism, rule number 9, happiness depends upon your dependency on somebody else or something else. Anyway, it's terrific Tuesday, and all is well. I'm well, I'm okay, and I wish and hope that you'll make it a thoughtful Tuesday, and you will educate yourself so that you will come to embrace your own divinity.